It was a fucking blast. The location was knocked down, drag out, awesome. And
nice.
Drag out, maybe literal.
So question here though, if, festival food is always a little different. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and it's great to try all that stuff. But if you had to pick one of those top 10 restaurants that you could travel to try, what would it be? And we can't say Will's Tailor.
That's a great question.
I mean, if I gave you a one-way ticket and a free meal, where would you go?
I think I would go to the Elysian Bar in New Orleans, just because I know Chef Alex's restaurant and his other restaurant, and I know how wizardly he is and how creative he is. He uses an amount of flavors that kind of resemble what our taste palates are.
Yeah.
I would say that I would use that trip to go back to New Orleans, and then also I'm being a little selfish because you could knock out like 90 birds with one stone.
Yeah, you can get a lot done there.
But that would be one of the I think other cities that were represented. Obviously, New York, Baltimore was up there. Chicago may have had a guy. Oh, Chicago had a team in there. But the Elysian Bar is one that we'll have to check off our list soon because that one fucking played.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bon Appetit parties, fucking wild. And then, I can't believe we hadn't brought it up yet, but you met with Brunch Boys.
Yeah, so...
And, I had no idea when you left. Before you left, you had told me about, you had landed something with Brunch Boys. And I was thinking, I had no idea what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe it's bread with boys or boys with bread or whatever. Shout out to our friend. But so I was just like, well, who the fuck cares? And then I looked at it and I was like, holy shit, this guy is the real fucking deal.
All right, so I don't want to tip because he is going to be one of our episodes. We did a little bit of it's almost like street walking, but we sat at a place called Flip Siggy, which was a Filipino restaurant, which we're going to dive into now. Flip Siggy is a restaurant. It's in it's on 525 Hudson Street. It's fucking divine. So it is very much kind of like the casual street food and things of that nature. Chef Jordan Andino, he's been on a bunch of fucking television shows, Late Night Eats, Food Network, all that jazz. So Jeremy is the gentleman behind Brunch Boys, and I don't want to give away his whole episode, but he used to work for Bobby Flay. So he has a little bit of a culinary touch, but he has very much a similar background to me. He did sports production and studied sports communication in college, and then was doing sports, and then landed a gig with Bobby, and then started working with B Flay, and then I can say that. Let's call it. We're tight now. We're the secondhand best friends. Jeremy may be the most down to earth, coolest motherfucker I met. We'll have videos and shit to come out with all of the folks that we interviewed and all the folks we hung out with. Jeremy was fucking cool.
Yeah, and I want to say, our listeners follow Brunch Boys. If you ever taken a trip to New York, the guy's done some cool shit.
And it's not just New York. I mean, he hits, he did some events at Facebook and Instagram, the day before I got there and the day after I got there. Chang and Brock and all those guys were up there. But Jeremy was the coolest guest. He's just so down to fucking earth for someone that has such a cool goddamn job. You would think, obviously, there's Instagram thoughts and social, movers and shakers and things of that nature that may take their position on the internet for granted. Fuck no, this guy is down to earth, loves just basic food. But when you break it down, he's a lot like you. So he has a regimen. He likes to go to the gym at the same time every day. He eats the same thing every day and things along those lines. It was like having a
So how does he go and try all this food though?
So he doesn't discriminate against anything. He fucking eats everything, but when he's not, he treats it as a job, whereas we treat it as stoners going to eat and enjoy time with our friends.
Oh, we're going to get gut bombs.
Yeah, we're going gut bombs. He's going it's a full-blown production. So he takes a bite possibly, and I'm sure he swallows it or he spits it out. He films 3 or 4 fucking things a day. So his schedule's booked solid, doing shit. So not only am I thankful that he joined us, but he was, by God, I was like, you pick a fucking place. You know that city better than me. And he was like, all right.
So, and the funny thing too is when you told me Brunch Boys, I was just thinking, honestly, my first thought was
dudes at brunch?
Dudes at brunch in New York City,
very
but that's not the case.
Bitch kind of thing?
Yeah, super
not at all.
basic bitch, shrimp Bloody Marys. But yeah, no.
No, so he does everything. So He obviously is very well connected with other folks in the industry up in New York, so he gets invited to these things. But he did a taste testing just like you and I did for New York's Food and Wine. He was one of the judges for the best burger battle. And I was like, oh, we did one of those in Denver. And so I'm not going to tip the whole episode because it'll come out in a couple weeks. And then we'll have some videos to show it as well. But yeah, it is very much like he eats anything that you put in front of him. But if it's not a production value or if he's not being the judge or something, then he's on a strict regiment. So it's pretty fucking neat to see how somebody, because we are very aloof in our schedules. Shout out to all those folks that I've been gone for 10 days. We probably missed a couple episodes. Sorry to our friends that if we missed anything else, but like, it's fucking nuts. And so like seeing him kind of go through his day to day, and then like some folks stopped in like while we were sitting there chatting. And then of course you hear like a cement saw going and like construction's constantly going. So the episode may have a little hit or miss parts to it, but at the same time it was pretty fucking cool. I want to give a shout out as well to while we were at Chef Jordan and Dino. He's actually coming out here in January to do a cannabis culinary collab. And obviously because
sign us up.
Yeah, because New York is full of assholes that don't allow marijuana cooking. He's coming out here to showcase his stuff. And Jeremy said he'll be back out here as well in June. I haven't spoken to Kelly about hers in regards to that, or to Sarah or Steve. Steve works in the seafood industry. Sarah works with Bon Appetit magazine. But all of that will come out. But we wanted to do a recap episode because this is the most exciting part. We have a couple more pieces in play, but we're going to turn this fucking podcast into a television show. What do you think about that, Chris?
I mean, I've got a voice for TV, or no, I don't.
You have a
face for radio.
There you go.
But we can, hopefully we'll get a good production or some production value, and I can look halfway decent. But I'm excited because I think it's fun. I think it's a new and exciting way to engage people, and I think it'll just be a fun way to see like what goes into this. Like we aren't just a bunch of fucking jack-offs. Maybe we are. But anyways,
one of us is a total douchebag jack-off, and that would be me. We are very much a no frills, but it's going to be fucking exciting. We have some new sponsors that are in the works. We don't want to tip our hands on that because, as we know, Kip can ruin a wet dream. So, I mean, that is still in the works. You know who you are. We love you dearly. We're excited about the new avenue that is coming. We have a lot of B-roll from not only New York, but also to, from here in Denver. And so we're going to start showcasing not only here. You're going to New York in a month. I got to go to New Orleans. We've been invited to Vegas. We're going to still specifically or primarily be Denver based, all Denver based businesses, Colorado based events and corporations. We still hate Chipotle, but we're going to add some visuals to this. You're tan, I'm pale. You're ugly, I'm hot. There's a good yin and yang here.
Yeah, we're grounded on cylinders.
Yes,
all
sir.
Cylinders.
So we will be bringing y'all Stoned Appetit TV coming to you soon. We don't want to announce our producers and things of that yet until we get contracts worked out, sponsorship deals are in place, get those things signed and sealed, and that's going to be probably it's going to be fucking fun 2020.
Yeah. And I mean, like, cause who doesn't, I mean, everybody loves to travel. So, we're still all about Colorado, but when we travel, let's let our friends know what we do. Cause we are at heart stoners and we like to eat food.
Yeah. And for those that are thinking, oh, this is going to really drop the value of the podcast. Nope. We're still going to do one cuts. We don't edit dick out of this podcast. And so but the TV show is going we're going forward with the television show. We will have a producer that will edit out small clips of that. But yeah, most of our listeners like to do it maybe on the way to the mountains, or maybe you listen to us on your hike. Shout out to you hikers. But we want to provide the restaurants the same platform that we give to our listeners by showcasing some of their food and showcasing how good we look sometimes.
And ski season's coming up, so you're going to have fucking hours in the car anyways. So there you go.
So yeah, we won't be skipping a beat on audio for those that are ready to commute up 70, but we will be adding a new stream of content. Of content. There we go. I almost lost my stream of consciousness.
And now that we're traveling to these places and meeting these people, we're going to have guys, you know that guy, in New York, and we'll have guys all over the place. Like, we know a guy there now.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're talking drug dealers, we always have a guy. Shout out to our friends that are on tour. If it wasn't for our fish and widespread family, we wouldn't have a guy in all of these cities.
We got you covered.
But we have someone covered. So if you ever need anything from us, you shoot us a DM at StonedAppetit_. I either got you a guy or a restaurant rec lined up. And it doesn't matter what you need. There's a 92% chance we can find it.
Yeah. Or we know a guy who knows that guy.
Exactly. So while we may not be the brightest bulbs or the brightest crayons in the box, by God, do we have some good connections. So we want to thank all of our guests that joined us in New York. We want to thank all of our listeners that put up with our stupid bullshit on a weekly basis. It has finally come to fruition. We're teaming up with some big name sponsors to make this go nationwide, to make this go instead of just audio, but visual as well. But really, I mean, thank you for also watching the dogs and keeping the house at bay. Before I leave, how was Lizzo?
Lizzo was fucking the bomb. I had a really busy week at work, but that shit was fucking nuts. I went and met our friend Cassidy. Shout out to Cassidy Eats. I went and met her, and like she had a crew come with her, so we went out to Dos Santos, grabbed a few margs.
A little uptown shout out.
Yeah, a little Pax Pen rip, and then we headed on down to the Fillmore.
Did you hit that Sphere X pod?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy a pod for a Pax Pen, it by God better be a fucking Sphere X. You know what you're going to get. You know it's safe, and it strokes 99.9% of the time.
Every time.
Yeah, it works every time.
Yeah, but like, dude, I mean, obviously that's not like our typical scene. We aren't going to rappers, but like, dude, I mean,
she's more pop.
Yeah, she's more pop, and she can sing. Like, I bet she could fucking sing gospel, and I didn't even realize she used to be a backup Prince singer. That's how really? She like started growing and getting bigger. What
was the scene like? Some Bettys?
Like, what are we, how can you compare a green chili to like a traditional like chili or stuff like that? And I was like, guys, let's just go by what tastes fucking good. It's all considered chili, But I think maybe like
was
categories.
Was there structure to it? Or did you fuck up the structure?
No, it was just like we just tasted all these chilies and then marked a score down, and then we voted on the top 3. But I'm not sure how it turned out. It got a little chilly. And
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Fuck, I'm good. But anyways, but shout out to our friends down there at Joy Wine and Spirits. They do this for a good cause. It was hopping this year. I mean, tons of families, tons of people out there winning gifts, doing that ring toss on the wine things, which is 2 tons of fun. I didn't win anything, but I gave it my best shot.
That's why we're drinking this Vitacol wine.
Yeah. But other than that, I think that about sums it up. But my last question for you is, do you want to go back to New York, and how soon do you want to do it?
You're going back to see your sister. I am a big Christmas guy. I want to go when it's like, and I'm
going in December.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to go when it's snowy, or like when, I mean, obviously we had pretty great weather. Like one day it rained, but the rest was like autumn. It was a little brisk, perfect scarf weather. As a scarf guy, I love a scarf. It was gorgeous weather, but I want to go back with like snow and like go sit on a rooftop and like take pictures of snow on top of the buildings and in the streets. And I want to see the garland and I want to see the lights. I want to do it like Home Alone 2. I want to do it like all the movies had personified.
Right.
Whatever
I'll help you live that dream when I go up there in December. I'll make sure I'll go to the Rockefeller Center with the tree and all that stuff. I'll do that for you.
I missed that touristy angle. So I
haven't done that either, but I'll do it for you.
I need to do that. I need to walk through Central Park, but I want it to be snow covered, or if not, at least, the autumn leaves, they're kind of green still, but, I would like to go back. Obviously, I'll let you go next, and then I'll go the next time, and then we'll just
we'll do
rinse
a team,
and repeat. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, or just we'll make the sponsors send us. We'll do a little video, man of the street. But yeah, I would go back in a heartbeat. It was fucking fun. It's a gorgeous city. Everyone, obviously, there's garbage everywhere, but I mean, once you get past the whole, they don't have a reliable sewage system, and I didn't see any of the cool rats like taking fucking pizza down the stairs.
Yeah, I think it really depends on when you're there, you know, like the time you hit the subway. And then also I think it changes with the season sometimes too. You know, during the wintertime, they're going to be down there.